Going live.
Okay. Can somebody verify the live stream?
Who's sharing it?
Let me see.
I just shared it like straight to the page.
It's not popped up for me yet.
Same. There it goes.
I don't have a phone. I cannot
Aha!
do
Beers
this
and
task.
Roundtable is live now.
Someone turn on ice. Okay. I just shared it like straight to the page.
Wow, my headphones suck.
Wow, that looks scary in this.
Thanks, Scott.
No. I meant like my actual headphones.
Oh, are you saying that those are really good headphones then?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, all right. Are we ready to go?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
That's going to be live on Facebook. Why'd I do that?
Well, it's okay. Like they can't really hear the mic audio too much.
But they just saw me go.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Really?
Oh,
Wow, we got an audio drop out like a second into it.
Well,
That was
This is a
amazing.
great sign.
The omen.
hey Bobby, can you grab that can behind you
Let me try to clear up some resources here.
Yeah.
and put it next to the whatever it's called tablet? That way.
Oh yeah, like
We can just have it in frame.
yeah,
Phablet.
there we go.
Tablet. Phablet.
Right here?
No. Other
No,
side.
like in front of the camera. Like yeah, I got you. I got you, fam.
Oh, in front of that front.
There we go. Brainless. Okay, let's try this again. All right, we're a few seconds in. We're doing good. Hello and welcome everybody to Beers of the Round Table. It's a pre-Halloween, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this is our Halloween special.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is.
It's getting pretty spooky out
yeah,
there.
it's getting spooky.
Dude, it's really scary out there, man. What's going on in the
It's
world?
like it's getting spooky cold out.
Yeah, it's really cold today.
Out here in Texas, cold, blistering winds.
It's sleeted at 50 degrees today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
is-
sleeted where I
did.
was too.
yes, it's sleeted here.
Of the devil.
Wake up, super cold outside.
It's gonna be super cold tomorrow too.
Yeah, it's gonna be even colder, and I'm gonna be sitting out there by that smoker, and it's gonna be keeping me warm, but it's also gonna be cold. We're gonna see how that goes tomorrow. So.
That'll go well.
Yeah. Of course it's gonna go well.
What do you think this is, amateur hour?
So let's get into this a little bit. The beer we're drinking today, Scott actually brought this for us today. We are drinking Brainless Raspberries, and this is from
Lil Brainless.
from Epic Brewing. It's raspberry ale. I like Epic. They've got an imperial stout called the Big Bad Baptist that I'm a really big fan of. That's always like a different batch every time they do it.
Big Bad Baptist is great.
Yes, it is. It's a fantastic beer. So, well, let's go ahead and crack this open.
Damn.
I forgot to go
Ooh,
in front of the mic.
spicy. Ooh.
Cracked mine a little bit too hard. Got some head flying everywhere.
Yeah, mine did too.
Highly carbonated.
Oh, for real?
Oh my god.
This beer may be brainless.
You
But it's not
Beer
headless.
ain't
It's not headless.
for the stream, check that out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't cross the streams, right?
come on.
Uh-oh.
Woo! It's a close one.
It's top quality head.
Let's see how
We
this.
should actually talk about what we're drinking out of. The device, the vessel.
Well, yeah. So since this beer, it's raspberry ale, so I'm assuming that there's some nice aroma going with it. We're using snifters
Snifters.
this time.
Oh yeah.
Which they're tulip shaped. The kind of purpose behind it is to really kind of focus that aroma, let you experience the smell of the beer a little bit easier. You generally kind of use them for, imperial stouts, IPAs, really high alcohol beers that just have strong aromas, and it really just kind of helps focus that and lets you experience that part of the beer a little bit better.
And it is
They're
super focusing this raspberry over here.
Yeah.
They're also really good for tequila. They make, like, if you swirl them around and then sort of take a sniff and actually drink it, it makes tequila taste really good.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never tried that. It sounds like it.
Well, most people just shoot tequilas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, this is
Fair point.
this is definitely a raspberry beer.
Oh my god, it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It's scrumptious.
Some fruit beers like really try to kind of go, really overzealous with it. Just kind of overpower it with the fruit.
Yeah.
But this one, like, I don't think it's got a good balance. It's got a good
Oh yeah.
taste with it. Nice raspberry flavor. It's not overbearing.
It's really not. It adds to the beer. It doesn't distract from the beer.
Yeah. First impressions, I'm liking it.
Yeah, so
Same.
far so good.
Well, we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the night. Well, all right. So tonight, who's our host? Who's going to talk
the
about
chosen
That's
speaker?
what we're going to talk about?
That's good old Bobby over
Bobby?
here. Yeah. So later on in the show, I did want to talk about, keep it in the Halloween spirit, talk about some spooky stuff. Like maybe, pass around some campfire stories or check some out online that we can kind of see if they're real or fake or not. But no, that's totally fake. That never happened. But first, it being Friday and it being awesome because it's Friday, we actually had a lot of games come out actually in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Last 2 weeks really, and then
Yeah.
today. I think the two biggest ones that came out today were Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein.
Oh, yeah.
What about Assassin's Creed Origin?
No one's gonna play Assassin's Creed.
I'm going to play Assassin's Creed Origin.
I never really got into the Assassin's Creed.
See,
The
Me
Assassin's Creed
neither.
one. Like I enjoyed Assassin's Creed, but the last one that I played that I really played was Black Flag.
Yeah.
That was
You
the
didn't
last one.
Syndicate?
Never played Syndicate.
Yeah, you did.
Man,
I
Or
did.
I played it
I
on your
remember when
Xbox.
Syndicate came out.
You did?
Yeah.
I just remember the Black Flag had so much kind of marketing behind it that you had Assassin's Creed Black Flag branded motherboards.
Yeah.
Well,
Asus, I think, with their Republic of Gamer
It-
series, had a Black Flag version of one of their motherboards.
if you guys liked Black Flag, the same person who
I can't
directed-
say that I like Black Flag. I was just talking about the marketing behind
Have
it.
you played Black Flag?
I have not.
You better.
the person who
Go play it right now.
the game director of Black Flag also directed Origin.
Black Flag?
So
Oh, okay. Well, then I might like Origin because maybe I'll give maybe I might give Assassin's Creed a chance because I played a lot of them.
plus from what I've been reading, it's like a complete overhaul of the whole system. Like it actually has more of the Destiny rare, common, medium, rare, epic type weapons.
Wait, there's a loot system now?
Yeah, there's an actual loot system now.
Man,
It's going to be weird to describe, but the combat actually has hitboxes now, where it's real combat instead
it's
of
like-
a dance.
So it's
the
not like
old style.
So it's like Tekken 7 where it's like if you don't touch them, you don't touch them.
Well, I think it's more that in the old style of gameplay, it was very reactive. Like they're about to hit you, so you hit counter, and then from counter you hit attack, and then if they're staggered, you can hit attack again, and then you wait for them to attack and counter.
Okay.
Man.
Whereas it's like I don't want to use Dark Souls, but it is Dark Souls in the idea that. Or
Combat
it's
is less formulaic, I guess.
It's unpredictable.
Right, you have to actually study what they're doing and react to them rather than just
going through the motions.
Yeah, button
Right.
mashing.
yeah.
Because every other Assassin's Creed game, you could just sit there and there'd be 20 guards after you, and just oh, I'm just gonna use a dagger. They have bows and arrows, just what, let's go, and then you just in the middle of 20 people, and you take them down no problem.
And see, that was the thing, is that I feel like the entire system behind Assassin's Creed just kind of is. I think when Assassin's Creed the first one came out, it was supposed to be this really big innovative thing. It was all parkour, you were running around, jumping in
Yeah,
buildings, and
I
all this
remember
kind of. It was the first of its kind to be able to let you do that. But I mean, when I got into that game, I was I think I got bored of it pretty quick. It's fun. I can go jump off buildings and stuff like that. But I mean,
That's it.
It's kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was kind of like that.
yeah, I couldn't get into the system of the game.
Well, it's very different from the original one at this point.
Well, of course, yeah. But I mean, like, even I tried the second one too, and I'm kind of getting into that one.
Really?
And, yeah, but
That's most people. It's that the second one is
Second
like, that
one's
is
really
the
good.
game.
I hold second and 4 like at the same level. They're like equally. 3 was I like the character because like he's a baby. He's like man.
Well, and I think 3 would really for me. What I hated, I mean, full spoilers at this point. If you haven't played it, you haven't played it, so suck it. But
When did the first one come out anyway? God, it's been
2008.
well, it was originally a Prince of
it's all
Persia
been almost
game.
10 years, I guess.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a Prince of Persia game, but it ended up becoming something else, which
Yeah.
is Assassin's Creed. But in the third game, they essentially ended the modern day story, and it ended in such a terrible way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So that's why I didn't like 3.
I'm gonna digress real quick. When you said that it became its own separate thing, you made me think about Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 and
Sorry, I hit the camera.
you made me think of Resident Evil 4 and Devil May Cry 1? Because I think what happened was
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 1 was supposed
Yeah.
to be Resident Evil 4, and there was a glitch in the game whenever you shot an enemy, it would just bounce up in the air. They're like, oh, we like that mechanic, so they kept it in, and then they're like, let's just make this game completely crazy and beat 'em up, and that's how Devil May Cry started.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
it was supposed to be Resident Evil 4. And if you
Interesting.
play the first Devil May Cry and you play Resident Evil 4, like they have similar themes, similar textures, the same,
Yeah.
there's similar music, and I was like, okay,
Well,
that's
I mean,
cool.
Resident Evil
even-
4, no, that was a good game.
That's a good game.
It even keeps the static camera.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, sorry, that's sidetrack. When you said that, I was like, ooh.
Well, I mean,
fact.
we're already sidetracked. We started talking about just the Assassin's Creed
Assassin's
series rather than releases that came out.
We
That's
gotta-
true.
Well, Assassin's
to-
Creed Origin came out today, so
Yeah,
it
today.
pertains to
It
the
does
topic.
pertain.
Okay, all right. Well,
But-
let's talk
But
about
then other than that, Mario.
yeah. Let's talk about games that people actually care about.
Oh my god.
Let's recurse back up the layers.
I want to get Mario Odyssey. I do.
I'm still thinking about that.
I want to get it because like I want a Mario game on my Switch because
I gotta get a Switch first.
Yeah. Oh
It's a
that's a Switch.
Bundle.
yeah, man. They got a bunch of those bundles there at Walmart. I saw
How
them.
much are they going for?
The bundles.
200, I think.
No,
Or was it more?
No.
Maybe I was seeing an ad.
The
a Black
bundle
Friday ad.
is like three.
If that is a Black Friday, send it to me because then I can.
That's that is stupid ridiculous though. I don't
I don't have my phone.
even
so I
on
can't
Black Friday, I don't think you're getting that
confirm
bundle
it.
for that much because that's $170 off the normal
That'd
price.
be amazing.
Go
Or
look
is
up Wario 64.
Like
Bob.
170, 160 off, but the bundle is like 360, 370 because I mean you're getting the console, you're getting a game.
Game, yeah.
You might be getting something else with it.
Joy-Cons?
I mean,
I'm not sure.
well,
But
actually, no,
you
you
got-
don't get the game. I think you get a slip to download the game.
Well, you get the game.
It's
Well,
the bundle is
Semantics.
going for $379 right now.
okay.
$379.
This
Okay,
is-
check out what's in the bundle because like if it's just the Switch in the game, that's kind of overpriced because the game itself is just $60, and the Switch by itself is $300.
I think you get a carrying case as well.
That must be what it is. But I mean,
Oh.
what's also special with this one is that it's the Mario Red Joy-Cons
Ooh.
rather than like gray or the neon color. So like it's kind of particular to this console.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds like something I need to do.
Yeah.
Especially, I've actually been sort of planning to jump on whatever Black Friday deals there are for the Switch.
I could have swore I saw a Black Friday deal that was like
That's
really ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
But
if
it may
that's
have been
true.
a fake. I mean, we're in kind of that season where you see stuff online, and you're like, I don't know if this is really true or not.
Right? Yeah.
Huh. This is kind of overpriced.
What,
Well, but does it come with the carrying case?
Yeah, what
I think
comes
that
with it?
is the last.
No,
item.
it's just the Switch console, the dock, and the 2 red Joy-Cons in the game.
It's those red Joy-Cons, man.
It's a download code too.
Yeah, that's what I was
So,
saying.
yeah.
You're paying for the paint.
The paint, yeah.
Isn't it $299 normally though?
Yeah. The Switch is $300. The game is $60. So you could go out and get like a gray console or a neon console, and then buy the game, and you'll be getting cheaper than the bundle. That's
You'll save
weird.
like
That's what
20.
people think.
You'll save like $20.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and then whatever.
But then you won't have those
Tax.
bitchin' red Joy-Cons.
I mean that's true. Like if the red Joy-Cons are important to you, then I really like my neon Joy-Cons, but yeah, that's
They're
just me.
nice.
Hey man, we like you. But yeah, so look, the game it seems pretty cool. I actually haven't watched any gameplay before. I want to wait till
Yeah.
I play it.
A lot of people have been saying I mean, there's a certain amount of, like I said whenever I came back from E3, there's a certain amount of the palaces or whatever they're calling it, where it's like, this is the Metro Palace, or this is the Prehistoric Palace, or whatever. And when you actually get the, I guess, minimum required amount of moons to then beat the game, it then unlocks a few more of them. So this is like, I mean, I guess, of the people here who have played Legend of Zelda, did you guys enjoy the Korok Seed stuff? Because this is kind of what it is.
I think the Korok Seed thing was hilarious, but sometimes, because like sometimes you'll be just walking around and like, you'll look at something like, okay, this is obviously a puzzle, and like here's a hint. You'll put an apple in like one of the little things.
Yeah, like some of them are a little bit more.
And then some of them are just like, why is this thing moving so quickly? What is this? Like, oh, it's a Korok. And like I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Man, I got like, I mean, I don't really think this is a spoiler, but like I found one in like Ganon's castle. And so like that was like kind of weird because like the atmosphere of the game when you get to Ganon's castle is like so much different because it's a whole lot darker than the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's depressing.
You got all the blight around you and everything like that. And then you just hear the little Korok sound, and then there's like a little pinwheel spinning, and you go up to it and you shoot the balloons, and then the Korok seed pops up.
Yeah.
You found me.
So I enjoyed that little small aspect of it. So if Mario Odyssey is like that, I don't think I have a problem.
I mean, because like it's not like something that like like you kind of needed to collect a little bit of them like in the early game to kind of like be able to get a usable inventory because starting out you have a small inventory.
Sucks.
Yeah, but they didn't make it so much that like if you weren't focusing on that, then you wouldn't enjoy the game. Like it was enough that I was passively collecting the Korok seeds as I was doing other things. Like I was just walking around, doing shrines, doing quests, whatever, and I would always happen upon the Korok seeds. I wasn't seeking them out; they just kind of popped up, and I got enough to like expand my inventory as much as I needed.
That is kind of what people are saying about this game because it's like I think there are a few like go into this place, this palace or whatever kingdom, whatever it's called. And there are ones that you have to get storyline-wise. But then while you're doing that, you might happen across some of them that it's like, oh, I see it floating up there. Take over a Goomba and stack myself up with 100 Goombas to go get it or something like that.
I still think it's hilarious that you can take over other enemies in this game just with your hat.
Oh, yeah, you just chuck your hat at them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
I just think the entire idea behind the hat is...
It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of funny.
Really interesting.
Here's a creepy story. Some
It
people...
reminds me of the Minish Cap a little bit.
Yeah.
I never played that one.
That one was actually really good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
No, but people have been saying online that Mario was just a random plumber, and the hat took him over one day and has been taking him on all these adventures.
Oh, man. This explains.
This explains so much.
Mario is not the man.
Does that mean the hat is in love with Peach?
I don't know.
Why does the hat love Peach?
Hey, can we not think about that?
Isn't that like when like Miyamoto was like went on Twitter and was like, please stop posting like erotic fanfic.
Erotic fanfic of Mario
and Luigi.
He's like, you're ruining the game for everybody.
Who did this?
Have you guys ever thought about how the M on the Mario cap is for a medium size, and then the L is for a large?
He's longer.
So is Wario W because he's wider,
Yeah.
and Waluigi is upside down
Backwards
L
L
because
'cause
he's freaking creepy. Some people are saying that Mario Odyssey is extremely boring, and they're saying that it is the worst Mario game, 3D Mario game yet.
But they're saying Mario Odyssey is really boring?
Yeah, they say Mario Odyssey is extremely boring. But like, it's not like a.
I think it's because there was just news about the GameCube adapter support for Switches, and I think as much as the generation above us hated Sunshine, our generation just wants Sunshine because that was our Mario game. Like,
see, I still never got to play that game, and I'd really like to play it.
Like,
it sounds like a game that a lot of people like, and it was like it was.
I love
It
Sunshine.
looks really
It,
cool.
it seems like as far as people are like, well, until we really get more feedback on Odyssey, it's like second to Mario 64.
No, most of the people don't agree with that. I mean, there was just a Retronauts episode about this, and they didn't like the game. Like, the only parts of the game they liked was the parts where they actually took away Flood, and you did basically Mario 64 stuff in it. But I think it's one of these generational things where it's just like Pokemon, where everyone's favorite generation of Pokemon was the generation
The first
they
one.
played. Yeah, was the generation they played as a kid.
The first one.
For us, it is the first. Actually, my personal favorite is the second generation.
Yeah, but see, you're wrong.
See, I like both the first games. Actually.
See, I like all generations. No, actually, I don't really have a favorite generation. Actually,
There are only 151 Pokemon.
Oh my god!
so like, what are the other ones then?
Those are fake imposters.
Imposter Pokemon.
It's fake news,
It's fake news.
Fakemons.
But my point being that for our age range, anyways, the GameCube was a big thing, and
Yes. Agreed.
Was it though? I'm playing.
I was about to say. No,
You guys looked at me
We
like,
came to the wrong podcast.
We are a Nintendo podcast, sir.
the GameCube was such a big console, and that's where we got like Animal Crossing from.
Smash Bros.
We got Super Smash Bros.
Melee.
Melee,
Well,
which
yeah, Melee.
it's considered the best Smash Bros. game.
Honestly, it's still.
Yeah, because all the fanboys are like, "Oh, bring back Melee."
Custom Robo was cool too. If you guys didn't play Custom Robo.
I didn't.
Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe, yeah. Oh yeah.
Beautiful Joe.
And yeah,
Joe,
so
y'all ever play 13? I don't think that was a GameCube
Yeah.
exclusive.
I wasn't. I put 13.
Killer
No?
13
No, Killer 7.
or
Killer 7 there's 13. I put them both.
wait, what?
There's Killer 7 and there's 13.
I don't know what 13 is.
13 was like
I
this,
haven't
like
played either of these.
13
Are
was
they
like
related?
I don't know, but
No.
13 was a cell shaded first-person shooter. It was really interesting, and like you could like it was one of the first ones where you could use like random crap like beer bottles and stuff.
Cell shading wasn't fad. back
It was
then.
like it
But
was.
it worked so well.
It
Yeah.
did, yeah.
But it was
Really
like
good.
like you could do really cool stuff. Like you would like throw a shard of glass at somebody, and then it would follow the glass and like cut their face up and stuff. And
Wow.
That's awesome.
yeah, it was one of the first games. It was like kind of doing stuff like that. So it was pretty popular. It kind of mixed. It was like first person shooter, but mixed in some stealth elements and things like that. It was a good game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I want to get that game again. Man, that was.
And of course, again, not a GameCube exclusive, but Time Splitters 2.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love it.
But my point was that generation was sort of that is our point for nostalgia. But I mean, a lot of people think Galaxy did 64 better than.
Also,
Sunshine.
never played that one.
I've never played Galaxy either.
Galaxy gave me wrist movement pain because you have to.
Arthritis?
Well, I guess because essentially.
No, carpal tunnel.
Well, no, it wasn't carpal tunnel, but
Carpal arthritis.
you have to. You have to, of course, jiggle the Wiimote to make Mario spin around in a circle.
Oh, was that a Wii game?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a Wii game.
For some reason, I
One
thought that was a
and-
GameCube game.
1 and 2 were Wii games.
There was a second Galaxy?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
second
Wait, I
Galaxy.
think they
Galaxy
did
2.
release it on the GameCube too, didn't they?
No.
No,
Really?
they didn't.
Huh.
It was a Wii only title.
This is
Probably
news to me.
thinking of.
Uh,
I'm thinking of Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda.
Wind Waker.
No.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight
Princess.
Twilight Princess. I was going to say, no, Wind Waker is GameCube only.
No,
Which
Wind
Twilight Princess is such a great GameCube game and such a crappy Wii game.
Yeah, because they just reversed everything.
And even when I was...
Well, you know why they reversed
Because
that?
because
Because
the
people are right-handed.
right-handed and they're like, Link's not right-handed. They're like, okay, well, so
Shut up.
just shut up, all right?
Which actually, the first real right-handed Link was Breath of the Wild Link.
Really?
Yeah.
He's right-handed.
Every other game, his sword goes like this. You notice on the cover, like his sword goes like that in Legend of Zelda.
Man, I didn't even
And
notice.
they know that.
You know what still blew my mind so hard about Breath of the Wild? The jump button.
I know. It confused the hell out of me when I first played it. I was like,
I was like, wait, I can make him jump on command.
yeah,
I say jump.
it was great. Did you guys ever do Did you guys ever do that one island where you had to survive on the island?
Yes,
That was so
did
much
everything.
fun.
fun, but it was so hard.
It was so fun. I love that. It was great. But actually, yeah, you have to do that for a shrine. So
I
yeah.
haven't done the only thing I hadn't done the first DLC.
I don't have the DLC.
I'm still working on that one.
You know, I still have.
I don't find it fun.
I'm only missing one of like the hidden items, and I can't remember what level I got to on the gauntlet.
I don't find the gauntlet fun.
I kind of like the gauntlets, but this one just started getting really hard because Dark Souls Zelda.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's just like I don't. I guess maybe if I had done it before I had actually beaten the game, I would have cared. But it's like, oh, you get a super powered up Master Sword all the time. It's like, I don't really care at this point because everything I find is pretty much just as good as the Master Sword.
Yeah.
There's one thing I was actually gonna ask you about that. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys. To this day, I still have not killed. What are those things called? The big dudes?
Oh, the Minotaurs,
Yeah,
the Lionels.
Lionels. Still haven't, to this day, still have not killed one.
Yeah, those are really difficult if you just kind of go up against them.
I've killed every type of Lionel.
So when I came across
It's exactly why I don't need to get the Master Sword. Because I can parry and.
wait,
dodge
you
them.
don't have the Master Sword?
No, I have I don't have the super version of the Master Sword.
What's the super version of the Master Sword?
So if you beat the little trial thing, you know how your Master Sword turns into badass form whenever you're like in Ganon's castle?
Yeah.
It's like that all the time.
Oh.
That's all you get though.
Does it still break?
Yes, it's still.
Yeah, every item in the
loses
game breaks.
power.
It's stupid.
Yeah, like you start getting some more durable items. And
Well, towards
then-
the end of the game, like stuff never breaks. It takes
I
a
wouldn't
long
say,
time.
yeah, I wouldn't say it never breaks. It's just like they're more durable. You get higher quality items.
I have yet to find some because I'm about to do the air temple or whatever, and I still have like stupid forked like Lizel boomerang crap.
I mean, saying like I'm about to do X Temple in Breath of the Wild doesn't really matter since it's
True.
non-linear. But the Lionels, if you just kind of go up against them like by yourself, you're gonna have a bad time. When I first encountered them, like in the Zora domain, I just snuck around it.
Well, the point was the sneaker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you weren't gonna be able to kill it by
You're not.
yourself.
I
But
tried.
Do you want me to tell you how you can, just guaranteed kill them?
Ancient arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just one ancient arrow kills them.
Really? I didn't know
I
that.
have
Yeah.
an ancient arrow.
Ancient arrows are just really hard to get, though.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, you get, like, one through the story. But to get more,
You have
like,
to make them. Right?
you have to make them. I think the guy at Terrytown has, like, a very small stockpile of them. But you have to get that one lab back in business. And
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then you got to collect a whole bunch of Guardian pieces to create the arrows.
Yep.
What was another game that came out today? So we just
Wolfenstein.
completely deviated from
Wolfenstein.
Mario Odyssey. Wait, did we even say we didn't even decide? Okay, who's gonna get Assassin's Creed? I know you are.
I'm gonna get all three. I didn't play the original Wolfenstein, but my brother played it and he loved it. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Dude.
Well, I also want to get The Mummy Demastered, which came out earlier this week.
The what?
Didn't I send you guys a link about this?
I don't
You
think so.
might have.
I don't remember this.
Okay, so you guys remember Tom Cruise, and
Yeah.
you remember how
Who's
he
that?
made? He's an action star dude. Anyways,
Is it Fudge Packer?
he starred in the reboot of
The Mummy.
The Mummy, right?
Oh,
And
yeah, that's
so-
right. It wasn't even Brendan Fraser.
So,
Messed up.
That's messed up. Shout out to Brendan Fraser, man.
Yeah.
Way Forward.
Brendan Fraser's the only mummy I know.
Way Forward, who made what's that? A pirate game, Bobby?
Pirates?
Assassin's
No.
Creed.
It's like hand animated looking cartoon pirate game. It's like
Sid Meier's Pirates.
Anyways,
It's like
she has like
Monkey
purple
Island.
hair. No, she has like purple hair.
Oh, Lazy Town.
Shantae and the Pirates Curse.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Shantae and the Pirates Curse.
Yeah, okay. Way Forward, I don't know. Whatever.
I'm sorry,
They
I
make
thought it was
the-
something else.
They make the pirate game, but then they also made The Mummy Declassified, which is straight up. It has like, if you go look at the screenshots, there's a screenshot that you could take out the main character of this game and put in what's his name, Dracula backwards,
Alucard.
Alucard from Symphony of the Night. Like, it is straight up like the gear place in Symphony of the Night. where you climb up.
Yeah, the clock tower.
The clock tower. It is like pretty much a still from that, but with this, like it is a Metroidvania game, and it's getting really good reviews.
Oh, I'm getting the game. Yeah,
Yeah, look it up. It looks freaking awesome.
I'm a.
Declassified?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Mummy
get it.
D-class.
I'm gonna
Or
play that.
demastered, sorry. not
Demastered. Okay.
What the hell does that mean? Demastered? Like, was it once a slave and that's not?
Well, it's awesome pixel art too.
Oh yeah, you like take like AAA 60 frames per second graphics, and then you replace it with like 8-bit graphics.
So it runs really smooth. So it's like Shovel Knight.
No, it runs really like crappy. Like we're talking like Pong, original Pong era like
Stop.
specs,
Stop.
8-bit graphics.
I'm scared.
Destiny 2 also came out this week.
It's
I've
true.
Oh
seen.
yeah, Destiny.
That's true.
For PC.
I'm still on the fence about getting it, whether on console or PC. Because last time I played Destiny, I had an okay time.
I'm unsure that my PC could run it right now.
You know what came out recently? I don't think it was this week, but it came out recently. Was South Park's Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
people have been liking it.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear about the difficulty setting in the game?
Yes.
Yeah, so
What is
if
it?
you,
I have not heard of this.
depending on your skin color, makes the game harder.
Oh.
Well,
never
no,
mind.
it was like if you set like the harder you set the game, the darker your skin is.
Right, and it says this has no effect on actual battles, but it just makes every other aspect of your life harder.
Wow. Way to go, Tom.
They did it right.
But yeah, people were saying that game is actually not all that difficult.
I never finished the Stick of Truth, which I wish I did.
Well, this takes place like the day after Stick of Truth,
Huh.
where the kids are no longer playing fantasy. They
Now
started
it's,
up
superheroes.
Yeah. And then there's actually also a tie-in to one of the episodes this season about it.
I need to watch more this season.
Yeah, me too. South
I
Park.
think I only saw like the first and second episode.
Same. What else? Let's talk about that game, Elex, real quick.
Never heard of it.
It's see.
Yeah, it has like this huge marketing problem. Like it's
It looks-
people think the way it looks like a really good.
Looks like a
first-party game almost.
Yeah, it looks like a really like well-made first-party game that is kind of like running on the code. It's kind of like along the style of Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Well, what it reminded me of was Darksiders almost.
Really?
Well, because it has like a shooting section and it has like fantasy RPG stuff.
That's true, but I saw some of the
think there's
gameplay
time
for it.
travel. I don't know,
Yeah, the game doesn't really make any sense. Like if you watch the trailer, just some guy walking through different times, but he's getting to a certain area, and then he goes back in time to the beginning of the trailer and starts all over again. And I was like, "This is what?" And so I watched the gameplay
Well,
video.
that sounds cool.
Gameplay video. It looks like they took The Old Republic and Fable and they put it together,
Huh.
and it looks okay. But like the dialogue's kind of weird. Like even during the dialogue for the game trailer that they were playing.
Game of Star Wars.
Yeah, like there's like I don't know. It looks alright. Like maybe I'll check it out. But so that's one thing that came out too.
Well, I heard it was riddled with bugs. So.
Yeah, like during the trailer, there's a bug during like the gameplay trailer. Like while he's talking, like his skin just goes like, for a second, it just, like, pops out, and I was like, dude, like, what's happening? It's really scary. You should go watch it. So I guess like the last big thing that came out today was Wolfenstein, like you mentioned earlier.
Wolfenstein.
And
Now, I feel like if you're gonna buy that game, then we might have problems because you're taking a political stance.
oh my god, Wolfenstein has been about killing
Against
Nazis
who?
since against it's been about killing Nazis.
No, I know
since,
it's stupid. It's
I know
stupid.
people are so mad. People are really up in arms about that.
Yeah, because like
People.
it's like I mean like the game is literally about like killing Nazis. The most
Yeah.
American thing ever.
Yeah. We had to worry about
Yeah,
this.
and then like the developers ID go out and of course on their Twitter doing press stuff, saying something along the lines of, oh, let's kill some Nazis or let's punch some Nazis
Well,
or
they
something
said,
like that.
let's make America Nazi-free again.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then people are like, "Wow, way to make a political stance! Like, why'd you have to go there?
Yeah.
I'm not getting this game now because you made it political."
Because this game is old.
And it's like almost as if GTA has never done something like that. Like, oh my god! Like they like Grand Theft Auto is great about like making doing parodies of like everybody, and like people
Yeah.
get like upset about it, but you still play the game. Like,
Yeah.
And like now that there's a game strictly on just like, hey, let's kill people who want to like rule the world with, you know, genocide. It's just like,
this
okay.
is rooted in the whole argument that like violent video games are bad, and it's the same kind of argument, and it's still
Is it
wrong.
though?
No, I don't think it is.
Think
I
about
think it is that we have turmoil in our current state.
For whatever reason, Nazis are relevant again.
Yeah.
And in America.
And here in America. And so...
And because of that, people are like, oh...
Hey, they have a right to speak, say what they want.
Yeah.
Which is true.
I mean,
Nazis are Americans too.
You have a right to speak up until you infringe upon other people. Once you start, like, burning people and beating them up, you kind of lose all your rights at that point.
Once you infringe upon somebody else's rights.
Like,
exactly.
You're free to say whatever you want, but you're not free of the consequences that come with it. Like, that's just how it goes. So if someone's like, hey, I'm a Nazi, I don't like you, but I'm like, okay, just, like, I'm going to punch you.
What I meant
You can say what you want. I don't know.
What I meant by
Like
trying to draw that parallel there is that in the game you kill Nazis, right? Okay, so people who say violent video games are bad say they're bad because you may want to be violent in real life. So if you extend that to killing Nazis, maybe you want to kill Nazis in real life. So that's that's what I mean.
But see, the thing is that like killing Nazis in real life is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But there's also been no real definitive study that actually links
Violence to video games.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
violence
that's
to-
what I started
yes,
out saying.
There has been
it's
some
not,
studies
it's
into
it's a bad
aggression, but it's actually the aggression of loss, not necessarily the aggression of playing a video game. Like you take a person and you put them in a situation where they lose a board game a whole lot, they tend to get pretty aggressive just as much as playing a violent
Playing
video game.
Halo.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Is they're both fallacies.
Yeah,
right.
Because I love violent video games. I'm not a violent person. Like, I'm so chill. Like, I love playing Gears of War. It's one of the most brutally violent video games I've ever played in my life. I'm just like, all right, I lost this game. Like, I hate it right now.
Doom. It's cathartic. You know,
Doom is
you're running around just blowing the crap out of demons.
Disemboweling people, like ripping out their heads.
Yeah.
Just like,
Do you know who's actually publishing Wolfenstein?
id.
Or I'm sorry, developing Wolfenstein?
Is it
Is it seriously id?
It's
Bethesda's publishing it
This
because
says,
Bethesda owns it.
Machine Games.
I thought it was pronounced ID.
id.
ID software.
Is it seriously id?
Yeah, id.
I think
Like
it's
id.
ID software.
Like id.
You could say either one. It doesn't matter.
You get it?
No.
I was just messing.
So.
Yeah. This article says Machine Games.
Like id. Get it?
Yeah.
See,
I assume they're probably sharing.
That seems strange to me that it would like something like that is publishing it because I mean like.
What?
It's not being published by either ID Software or ZeniMax.
Well, I bet you ID Software owns that studio.
No, it could be, but ZeniMax owns ID.
Well, yeah, so.
So
It's scary.
Well, it's all one company. Bethesda and all them. It's all one company now.
Could you imagine like the entire Skyrim landscape and then just like the Doom guy and it plays just like Doom, but it's like the Skyrim map for all the same quests. It's like keep going. Like, oh, the thieves
One
kill.
of my favorite things though about Doom was how fast you move, but apparently, what's his name is crippled from the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess in the beginning of the game you don't move very quickly or something like
Dude,
that.
I immediately noticed how fast I was moving at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, very beginning of the game is like
No, I'm talking about for Wolfenstein.
Oh, Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I
Wolfenstein.
thought we were talking
yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. In Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Wait, are Wolfenstein and Doom in the same universe?
No, but I think back in the day, wasn't it this? Or are they just similar games?
They're just super similar. They're not in the same universe. I don't think.
Well, because like the original Wolfenstein came before Doom.
I mean, this article is comparing them.
But
Because it's based.
Well, they're very similar games.
I'm not-
but it's also owned by the same mother company.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, like they made Wolfenstein, and they made the original Doom, which created the Doom engine, which they used for the next Wolfenstein game, and then subsequently, of course, Doom 2.
And then Doom 3 just like completely blew stuff out of the water and was like some of the best C++ code ever. Like the best.
Well, I mean, like even the original Doom is still regarded as really good code.
That's good.
Even though they had to do some really weird hackery stuff.
Really weird stuff.
To get some things to work.
Because it's easier for you to make like a 3D game than to do what they did. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, because like the thing is like it's kind of like for the renderer, it was like kind of the first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I remember reading something where like, they have some hard-coded value for something or another that they use for processing some graphic or something.
Yeah, like
it's really vague in my mind, but I can't.
It's different things like that, and like just like the way the renderer is built is really interesting. I remember watching some videos on this, and it's basically they use like I mean, there's no depth to anything. It's basically kind of what it is, and I don't remember. It's been a long time since it's very interesting stuff. They use like portals and.
For our listeners, go look that up because it's super interesting if you're into that.
If you're into that sort of stuff.
If you like Doom, you owe it to Doom to go read about like how it's made. Like that you can make
it was a very big technological like kind of step forward with Doom. And it was really interesting how much like Doom kind of took over, people using computers and playing games because it was like if you had a computer, you were playing Doom. It didn't really matter who you were.
Yeah.
And like it was one of the first games with like networking multiplayer on it, and people were clogging up work networks playing Doom at work, and it
was amazing.
Doom holds a special place in my heart as a computer scientist.
Yeah. But so back to you, Scott. Like Wolfenstein, you start off the game. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you do start off the game kind of. I'm sore because stuff does happen in the first game. Really sad. You should all play the first Wolfenstein and maybe skip over Old Blood because you need to play it. You really don't need to play it.
Isn't that just?
It's a prequel.
Like a nightmare or something.
No, it's a prequel.
Oh, it's actually a prequel.
Apparently it's like a night. It's I think it is. I think it is just a prequel. Yeah. So it does the whole Nazi zombie thing, which is kind of dumb, but it makes sense. I guess.
See, that's the other thing. This game is like fantastical. Like it's that like
Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like if Nazis also made like Tesla, Tesla as in the person type technology where it's like super like with arcs of electricity going between it and it like shoots out rays.
Tesla coils.
Well, right, but I mean, kind of like the steampunk kindy.
It's
like
future tech, but it has like electricity of it shoots out a laser.
You know that game, The Order, 1886. Or
yeah.
It's like that. It's like if Nazis still use their old style tech, they were like, we're the geniuses of the world, and they kept like true to their style of their technology. Like that's what it would be like.
It's not steampunk. But it's not cyberpunk. It's like Tesla punk.
40s punk.
Yeah.
40s punk.
Edison punk.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the game is really good. I remember right after Nazi punk. I remember it was actually right before the marches happened over in Charleston. Mm-hmm. So right before that happened, I actually started playing the Wolfenstein again because I heard they were making the second. I was like, man, I want to get ready for the second one.
What are you playing on?
I'm playing the Xbox One. Oh, you mean difficulty-wise, or just what system?
Yeah, what system are you playing?
I'm playing on Xbox One.
Did it come out for the current console generation, or was it only previous console generation?
Only current. Maybe it did come out for 360. No, I don't think it did. No, I think it only came out for this current generation.
Okay.
But so Wolfenstein 2, it's you coming back and like, hey, like Nazis are actually. Because in the old game you play like in Europe, you play in like London and stuff like that. So like this is like, even all this after all the stuff you did in Wolfenstein 1, like they're still strong and they're in America now. Mm-hmm. So you have to come like take them out of America, which is kind of cool. Actually, it's really cool because I don't like Nazis.
So we've been spending quite a bit of time on this. Maybe we should go ahead and talk about some Halloween type stuff.
But Nazis, man.
Right before we move on, I
don't want to make too much of a political statement here talking about Nazis.
Yeah, you're right.
Before we move on, I figured out what I was talking about with those constants that they would put in sometimes, and it's actually not for Doom, but they did put it in Quake, specifically Quake 3.
Quake 3 Arena, yes.
Yeah, Quake had a really interesting thing.
What it is the fast inverse square root, which estimates 1 over root x, and it's a hexadecimal constant that you can use. So yeah.
Did they also use the IEEE vetted random number?
I think they do.
4?
IEEE, yeah. They probably do, honestly. Not even kidding you. But yeah. So that's what I got. So
cool
stuff.
Well,
Crazy.
let's get spooky, Bobby.
All right, so I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So you're gonna just tell us a quick story, and then I'm gonna ask you what would you guys do, or how would you react to this? You probably react the same way. So let's say you're going out and you decide like, hey, I'm tired. I want to take some time off this weekend. And I want to go camping, but you're camping alone. All right. So you're camping alone, and you're out there by yourself, and you have this uneasy feeling all night that something is just beyond like your
Sight range.
just beyond your draw range, your view distance, your draw distance. Yeah. So you go to sleep, and then all night you keep waking up because you hear someone or something moving around your tent at night, and you don't see anything, but you just kind of hear them like just on the edge, and then you wake up early in the morning like, okay, I need to get out of here. You pack up your stuff and you go back home. You drive 15 miles back home, and you get to your front door, and then there's an envelope on your door, and you're like, and it's just addressed to you. You open your envelope, and there's a picture of you sleeping in the tent.
No.
What do you do? How do you react to that?
What?
It happened to some guy on Reddit or he saw a story like that or something like that.
No.
So, like, drives home, and there's a picture of him in the tent sleeping, like taken on like the Polaroid camera, like picture. Like, what?
I would figure out which of my friends did this.
Yeah, right?
My question is, why are you camping alone?
I know. I thought
Camping is always
For
fun
the
with
adventure.
friends.
maybe he was just like super not into people.
Man, if I was camping alone, I feel like I'd go a much more remote.
Yeah, further than 15 miles.
Yeah, where I kind of knew there wouldn't really be much of a possibility of somebody else finding me.
Yeah.
If I was going to
That
go by
way,
myself.
if he needed to get out of there, he'd just be stuck. Wouldn't be able to get out.
But then again, you have the double whammy that, if something does happen to you, not caused by the people, but like, say you fall out of a tree and die.
Yeah.
Then nobody's going to find you.
Or you
but-
choke on a pretzel.
Hey man, buddy system. That's what they teach you. I don't really have any scary stories.
Scott just lives a normal everyday American life.
Pretty much do, yeah.
Man,
Wake up in the morning.
you know what we should have
Drink
prepared for this
Coke.
show?
What?
Halloween, would you rather?
Halloween.
Would you rather go camping alone and someone takes pictures of you, or would you rather? I don't know.
That one, would you rather? That one time was kind of Halloweenish with the clown that stares at you every time. Or
Oh
all
my
day,
God.
But nobody else can see it but you.
Dude, I forgot about that until now. I still would take that over the other thing. I forgot what the other thing was.
What was the other thing?
Let me try to dig up the file and see if I can.
Or would you rather have the clown from It following you around all the time, every single day?
But only you can see it, or
Yeah, only you can see it.
Fuck.
does it? It's just
Pennywise.
Is it just Pennywise, or is it like one of his forms of Pennywise?
Just Pennywise.
Okay, I think I'd be okay with
I
that.
don't know. I like the new It, the Pennywise. He looks really cool. But
Yeah.
when you go back and look at the old one, it's like, oh god, it's not.
He looked grimy.
It's not scary. Yeah, he
He's
just
like-
looks like
He was like, I'm gonna take you home, and I'm gonna
I've
bite
been
you.
sniffing cocaine for about 22 minutes now, and I'm ready to give you this red balloon.
Was written by Stephen King. So.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh man. There was one scary story I forgot. Like, oh man, there's so many. You guys don't have anything that you guys have that's creepy that happened to you?
No,
Not really. Just like sleep paralysis. Have you guys ever had sleep paralysis?
Oh yeah.
all the time.
Oh, dude.
Well, not sleep paralysis, but like, I'd say within 30 minutes of going to bed, my eyes usually wake or open back up, and I just see things. But then I just know, oh.
That's
You know that
spooky.
it's sleep
That's,
paralysis.
Well, I mean, it's just that, like, I don't know. My eyes are readjusting, and so it's like, black shapes or whatever, and it focuses back in. It's like, oh, it's just the room.
Yeah.
just my room turning into mystical like black magic smoke. Like, it's all fine.
Well, I mean, I'm just logical about it, and I know that it's not aliens abducting me or whatever people
Or
say.
spirits.
Or spirits coming to attack me.
Yeah. I mean, I've had sleep paralysis once or twice before. So, like, there's this one time I was in College Inn at a UNC, which is already, like, College Inn is the worst dorm. It's
Yeah,
I liked my time in college.
I enjoyed my
it's
time
made of
there.
cinder blocks, man.
It's like a prison,
It's
Yeah.
a prison.
but
It
I still enjoyed my time there. But go ahead.
So I was like laying in my bed, and it was like in the morning times.
Mhm.
I was like getting ready to wake up, I guess, but instead I had sleep paralysis, and so my bed faces such that my feet face towards the bathroom door, and I had sleep paralysis where like a black shadow came out of the bathroom door and like went to the head of my bed, which didn't make sense because I had a mini fridge at the head of my bed, so it couldn't have been standing there. It doesn't make any sense, and it was like shaking me like that, like back and forth, and I was like, oh no, this is freaking scary. I need to wake up.
There's actually one
So I
time.
just woke up after that, and I was like,
Oh, hang on, sorry guys, we had an audio drop out.
ah.
How long ago?
No one
Like
knows
it was just a couple
my
seconds.
story.
Joseph, you should be able to pick it up.
And basically, it was just standing there, and it started like shaking me, just back and forth.
Oh crap!
And it was really weird and really scary, and I was like, "Crap, I need to wake up." So I just kind of woke myself up like by sheer force of will. It was really scary. I had my heart pumping, but I woke up and everything was fine. Yeah.
Okay, I found the would you rather if we want to.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Scary story.
Would you rather have a clown only you can see that follows you everywhere and just stands silently in a corner watching you without doing or saying anything, or have a real life stalker who dresses like the Easter bunny that everyone can see?
Okay, now that I'm thinking about this realistically, I think I'd want like a real life stalker because they can take care of that, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I think for comedic effect, it'd be cool to pick the clown because like you just be doing almost something, and just kind of like people just kind of be like, yeah, hey man, what's wrong? Like nothing. And you're just kind of like, but
Pennywise wants to play.
in this scenario, I'd probably pick the Easter bunny.
It's a pretty nice boat, Ricky. Have y'all seen it yet, though?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd see it, yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Man,
It's good.
that's good.
it's good, but it's also really, really long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
That was pretty long.
By the second third, I was just like, I'm ready to go. I get the point.
Yeah.
The clown's evil.
What I hated, or what I found
Evil.
interesting, was like at the very end they go, it was like part 1 done, or it's like,
Yeah.
get ready for part 2, and
Right.
people are like, oh my god, there's gonna be a part 2. It's like,
Yeah.
don't you know? Like
Right.
this was in 2 parts when they made it before, so
Exactly.
they're gonna do 2 parts again. Like, how are you acting surprised?
I did not know it was 2 parts.
Peeps
Hey,
didn't
Well,
know.
you're ruined. Now you know. Now you won't gasp
Oh,
whenever you
no.
see the part 1 done.
Does it play the to be continued music at that?
No.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis, Bobby? I think you said you did.
Oh yeah, I have sleep paralysis all the time, and I hate it. And it sucks, and it's horrible.
Well,
I mainly get it if I'm taking a nap, and I'm just kind of like I know I need to get up like at a short time. Like let's say I take like an hour nap, like I'll probably have sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
So I'm just like, oh, my eyes are awake, and like there's someone laying next to me. And I don't know who that is. They're looking right at me. This is kind of creepy. Like,
Ah.
'cause I don't close my eyes because they might be real. I can't move. Like, oh no, what's happening?
Oh no.
So it's horrible.
Carrie, did you say you had a scary story you wanted to share?
I do have a scary story.
Oh, come share it.
Come share your scary
Okay.
story.
I have a story after that.
There was one time a guy ran in my house and he dooted on me.
She's handing over the baby. She's getting into the show. She's getting ready to slay on the top mic.
Listen, hot fire.
Okay. So we had just moved into the house, and Brad had just put in, well, him, my brothers, had just put in
Closer to the microphone.
had just put in hard floors, like laminate flooring. And Brad, he leaves at like 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And I was still pregnant. So I followed him to the door, say goodbye. I come back to the room. Java's not with me, so I'm all by myself in the house. Yeah, he's the cat. And I go back to sleep. Well, yeah, almost back to sleep. Then I hear walking outside. You can hear the walking like, someone has shoes on, walking through the living room. And I'm like, did Brad? Yeah. I'm like, and I was thinking, did Brad come back in? And I was like, no. So I'm just like laying there in my bed, all scared, and yeah.
You didn't check who it was?
No, that's scary.
You're right.
Spooky, scary.
This has been a couple times at my place where I've heard something and I'm like, I'm not gonna get up. There's one time though when like I'm pretty sure like someone grabbed my door handle and like they kind of like just like I heard like like that. They didn't like shake or anything, but I heard like I felt like someone. Hey, Evie.
Like your room door, or
like my room door.
No.
So like, and then I don't know. I was kind of awake in my room. It was like early in the morning, and like while I was sitting there, I don't know why I woke up. It was the middle of the night, and I felt like someone was at my door, and they just kind of just like grabbed my door handle, and it made the noise if you grab me because it's kind of a loose handle.
Right.
And I was like, so I looked at it, and I was like, someone gonna walk in my room right now? And then like, it didn't make the sound of someone letting go of the door handle. So I was like, huh. So I walked up and got up and like opened my door and I had my light on and I looked, there's no one out there, and I was like, oh. I go, no.
Nope.
I kicked, while I was asleep, I kicked a ceiling tile out of the ceiling at Kerr Hall.
How does that work?
How high were you off the ground?
So I put the
Were you like in a lofted bed?
yeah. So I put that at the highest setting because I liked having a little space underneath. And
That's
I
how
don't
mine
know
was.
what my dream was, but for some reason, I guess it just made me want to kick. And I just kicked in real life, and I kicked the tile out from above me and broke it in half, and it fell on the ground. And then Max ended up like I think it was like
He put Batman or something?
no, well, yes, we did do that, but we like cemented it back together with like rubber cement and put it back up there.
Wow. Nice.
I don't know, like, I think this is kind of a spoiler alert, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'm actually thinking about going into, have you guys seen those videos of people going into, like, abandoned buildings or abandoned, like, malls?
Yeah.
It's like that, like, would you
Urban
guys,
explorers.
yeah, like, so like that, would you guys ever do something like that?
Yes, I would totally do that.
What about if it's a place where it's been abandoned for a long time and it's been closed off by like security and police patrol it because it has like human trafficking and like
I think the only
murders
reason
and stuff
people
like
are
that.
afraid of those is because you don't have access to them.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them
Yeah.
scary is the fact that no one's really been there in a while.
Yeah.
But I think if it was an abandoned building, but anyone could just walk into it at any time, it would be not as scary as
True.
people think.
If it had like a reputation behind it, like you were saying,
I mean,
I may be more cautious of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
For nothing.
like think of all the scary movies and stuff. It's like it's the forest that no one has ever returned from. Like or it's like anyone who goes in never comes out. It's like
Right.
the reason it's scary is because of the unknown.
Yeah.
You know?
Would you guys ever go to Okigahara Forest in Japan, the suicide forest?
No.
No.
See, I wouldn't either.
Wait, what is that though?
There's a forest in Japan where it has a reputation. It's
That's a no based on the name.
They made a movie.
What happens in Suicide Forest?
Yeah, but like it's at the base of Mount Fuji, and it's where people travel to. I think it's like they have like about 300 suicides there like a year in Japan, or something like that. I don't remember the exact number. Somewhere it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like 80
It's
or
just
something.
a place where people do it.
Yeah.
But because the idea is you don't want to cause a mess with your suicide.
Yeah.
I was
so-
about to say, even they're like
Yeah, they don't want to be
suicide
bothered.
is
And like how
like society oriented. Like,
Right.
how they do it too. It's really because like the actual forest that has like trails in it because it's like like a nature park, but there's zones that they cut off because the forest is huge and like the canopy is super dense. So sometimes even during the day it's still kind of like dark in there. There's not a lot of wildlife that lives there. Like there's a couple deer and birds like that. But there's not a lot of, like that goes on there. But there are sections of it that are cut off where it's like, hey, if you go past this point, like you might find someone who's like decided to take their own life, which is kind of weird. But how they do it apparently is like they'll take some rope with them. They'll take a tent and they'll take all a bunch of stuff so they can contemplate whether or not they really want to do this. And if they finally decide to actually take their own life, to commit suicide, they'll walk out like to a random part of the forest that's away from like the normal like trail, and they'll tie like a rope around the tree and they'll walk with it until it runs out. and that's the part where like they're just like, okay, I'm gonna die here, or like they'll camp out there and decide they really want to do it. But like there's a couple videos like that on YouTube where people actually do go in at like night and they try to stay the entire night there, which is kind of creepy. And like I watched one of them and I was like, yeah, I don't think I would like. I think I would go there, but I definitely wouldn't go there at night. And if I did go there at night, I definitely wouldn't go to one of the forbidden zones because like I don't want to run into something, you know.
Well, I mean, if you had no idea that's what that forest was about, you would have no problem staying there.
True, but then like you run in there and there's like a guy like you find in there who's just like actually dead. You're like, oh, I think it's a murder, and then you look over and there's like 30 other people there. It's just like, hey, this is kind of messed up. Like, what's going on over here? So, and it's also pretty crazy too because it's like. Because the forest, like in the Forbidden Zone, there's no trails, so like you can actually just get lost in there, like completely. Just because the forest is huge, it's like the entire forest surrounding the base of Mount Fuji.
Wow.
So like you can just get lost, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna die here because I don't know what's going on.
Dang.
So I wouldn't go there.
Huh.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap up a little bit. Let's talk about the beer. Just to remind our listeners, we were drinking Brainless Raspberries from Epic Brewing. Raspberry ale, fruit beer. Yeah, Joseph.
Yes.
How do you feel? How you doing?
You know, what I said at the beginning was true all the way through. The raspberry added to the beer. It didn't distract from the beer. And it was like that throughout. In fact, I found more and more of me, like, the longer I drank this, the less I actually kind of tasted the raspberry, which is not bad. But yeah, maybe, I mean, it's probably because I got used to it. But yeah, overall it was really good. I'm gonna give this probably. I'll give it like a 6.5 out of 10, honestly. It's like it was good. It wasn't like amazing though for me. It was just kind of. Although the raspberry added a good amount of flavor to it, the beer underneath was just beer.
All right, fair enough. All right, Scott, how do you feel about this beer?
I cheated because I already had one of these. But I kind of want to go into depth of when I had one, it was out of a can, and I actually didn't like it at all. But kind of what I was explaining earlier, how like, you know, drinking tequila out of a snifter glass actually helps with the flavor of the actual tequila. And the reason for that is because smelling is a big part of tasting. And
This is true.
I think this was a good call, Brad, because it really actually helped the raspberry flavor by being able to smell it. Because when I just drank it out of the can, it didn't taste like raspberries to me, and I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, that's something that you should kind of take into consideration with all beers. Is that I mean, yeah, when you're, you know, barbecuing, hanging around, drinking out of a can or a bottle is fine. But if you're really trying to taste the beer and, you know, see about the beer, you need to pour it into a glass, a snifter, or something. You need to expose that beer so that you can actually smell it, because smell is one of the biggest parts of a beer.
Right.
Unless you're talking about a light lager, you know, there's not going to be anything in there. But like, you know, pretty much any of the other beers that we drink, like that's why we always pour them into a pint glass. We don't drink it out of the can or anything like that. That way we can get a full experience of the beer.
Right. Yeah, and had it just been drinking out of the can, I probably would have been like down to the 6.5. But, you know, drinking out of the snifter glass, like it's probably an 8 for me. Like, especially for this time of season, you know, something that's like raspberry or more fruity kind of sounds better to me.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's just fall or whatever, fall/winter.
You're right.
But yeah, I really like it a lot. This is definitely something I'd pick up again.
Nice. Bobby.
Who? I kind of agree with both of Joseph and Scott's points. I mean, it's good beer, but underneath it,
And before 7.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much giving it a 7. So that, I'm pretty much giving like a 7.3, I guess. But like,
I gotta go 1.3.
Nuance.
man.
He's got nuance to that.
Because you know why? Because this is brainless. That's why. No, but like I enjoyed the beer. It was smooth to drink all the way through. I can appreciate the raspberry flavor. The beer was just kind of just like normal beer. Really, I don't really have to. Like,
yeah, it is a light beer, but I think that's what I appreciate about
yeah,
it.
Right.
So that I appreciate light beers too, but like it just tastes. I mean, it was pretty much just that. It was light beer with raspberries, and like I liked it, but it wasn't like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But I'll drink it again. Yeah.
Right.
7.3
Okay.
and a half. 7.3 over 2.
Yeah, so this was definitely a pretty good beer. But like the thing with kind of fruit beers is that the brewers tend to not focus too much on the beer itself. The beer is just kind of a base to add the fruit flavor to. You know, that's what they're really trying to get out of it, is the fruit and things like that. And especially when you start going with fruits like raspberries, cherries, and strawberries, you start kind of getting a sour sort of feel to the beer.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really call this a sour style, but
not at all.
but the raspberries kind of give you a little bit of sourness in there, which to me is a nice taste. I feel like as fruit beers go, this is actually one of the better ones that I've had. I really enjoyed this one, so I think I'm gonna echo an 8 on this one. I enjoyed it. It was a good one. I liked it. Would drink again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're saying that the beer is just sort of the palate, like, is it that they're actually infusing it, or is there like a different way of brewing it?
It depends more on the brewer, I guess, how much time and effort they want to dedicate to it. Because, I mean, if you're doing a fruit beer and you're doing it right, you're going to use real fruit.
Right.
And what that means is that when you're making giant batches of these, you got to get hundreds of pounds of fruit. And you got to chop up the raspberries or crush them to expose the actual fruit itself to the beer. And what they'll end up doing is, you know, putting those into the fermentation tanks and then putting the beer into the fermentation tank after that. You know, get it all infused in there, and they'll let it sit for, you know, anywhere up to like a year, depending on how much it needs to mature with that fruit. Because the thing about adding actual fruit to a beer is that it's going to introduce some flavors and even potentially wild yeast that's going to actually change the beer itself, and could introduce, you know, some bacteria or other things that are really going to kind of change the palate of the beer itself, and maybe add some sourness, kind of like I was talking about.
So they wouldn't actually use the sugar from it to brew any of the beer.
Well, the sugar is going to be eaten by the yeast.
That's what I'm saying.
In fermentation. So you're really just getting the flavor of the fruit rather than the sweetness.
Okay. Well, right. I guess what I was saying is the sugar they're using is not coming from the fruit necessarily.
The fruit is going to add some extra sugar, but like I said, no sweetness, because it's going to be eaten by the yeast.
Right.
Because in the brewing process, you get your sugar from the grains. The grains, you know, steep in water, and then it creates a sugar solution. Basically, you're basically making a giant grain tea.
Yeah.
And then the yeast is going to eat all that sugar to create the alcohol.
Green tea.
So, so whenever you add, you know, fruits, you're adding more sugar, and that just reawakens the yeast, and the yeast is like, oh, there's more sugar to eat, and it's going to eat all that sugar and create more alcohol.
Yeah.
Cool.
So before we sign off, I just had an idea. Do we want to go around the table and share our biggest fears?
I don't know that I really have any fears. I guess dying.
Any particular one?
Any phobias?
Not really. No.
You don't like seeing people throw up, right?
I don't want people to throw up on me, I guess, is my main.
Wait, why do I know that?
Well, because whenever you're like, oh, I'm sick, I'm like, well, throw up over there.
Fair.
How about you, Bobby? Biggest fear? Or a fear. Doesn't have to be your biggest.
One of the fears I have is just like being in like open water out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just like, you don't belong out there. You don't belong anywhere out there. And
yeah.
if something comes up to you, like, you're going to have to let it do it. It's gonna, you can't stop it. It's going to happen. You know, if like a giant colossal squid was like, hey, man, like, what's up? Like, you look cool and like, wants to touch you. Like, you're not getting away from it. Like, that's it. Like, sorry. It's like one situation you can't really. I guess it's like a situation you know exactly what's happened. You can't do anything about it. It's like
It sounds like you put a lot of thought into this particular scenario.
I think about colossal squid eating me all the time. I'm joking. No, I just thought, I don't know. Like, just I think that'd be one of the worst things. Like, you know, you being like I don't know if you guys seen videos like that where it's like a guy who's, you know, scuba diving and he's like harpooning and he looks up and there's just a great white next to him and he's like, Like, and it comes out,
To
like,
be
something,
continued.
yeah, it's something next to him, and it's like, that's not cool. So I guess that's a fear that I have. Besides that, I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of it. Just don't put me out in open water, please.
I mean, like, sure, I have fears, but I don't really feel like I can be specific about them. It's more like, oh, like, something happens, and you're like, oh, this is definitely something I was really afraid of. But it's not like, like, I don't really, like, dwell on fears or anything like that. Just, day to day. I mean, if anything, I just have one gigantic phobia that, if anybody knows me, it's needles.
Right.
And if you've known me long enough, you know that it doesn't take much with needles to incapacitate me. I mean, we can be watching a TV show or a movie, and a character can be getting a vaccination, and then I'm white as a ghost, cold sweat, almost passing out.
damn.
It's very debilitating. It's the worst thing when I have to go to doctors or anything like that. It's a terrible phobia. But I mean, as far as fears go, it's just in the moment. I'm afraid of this.
Yeah.
So clear and present danger for you, aside from the phobia. For me, I've got like, I'll name two. One of them is I'm afraid of water. Like, I'm afraid of drowning specifically, because I've almost drowned a couple times. And so, like, I really don't like not being in control whenever I'm in a body of water.
Yeah. See, we agree on something.
Yeah.
Like,
So that whole open water thing, totally get it. The other thing is, I'm like afraid of either like going insane or being perceived as insane.
But see,
Which-
if you already are insane,
Right.
then
See, it's a really weird fear because it's like I will know that people are treating me as if I'm insane, but I know that I'm not. Like, I don't know.
that's
It's
something an insane person can say.
exactly. So yeah, it's kind of a mindfuck to think about.
I actually have a similar a thought that I've like that this would be really messed up, but I don't ever want this to happen. Like, let's say I get really, really old one day, I'm on my deathbed, and like I have like severe dementia, and the only thing I can remember on my deathbed is like some stupid meme. And I can only repeat that. So I'm like, and no one knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, that boy, that boy. And everyone's like, oh, there's Grandpa Bobby.
boneless pizza?
Yeah. And everyone is just like, that's just Grandpa Bobby. He just says that sometimes.
It just says that boy.
and, like-
crack a cold one with your boys. I don't understand.
And that's the only thing I can remember, and that's the only thing I can repeat. It's like stupid memes from today. I would hate that so much.
Just get your grandson. Hey, go get your boys.
Go get your boys.
Go get your boys. Get a cold one. Go crack it.
Is that
All
is
right,
that pizza?
Grandpa.
Is that pizza boneless, son? Oh, what? Is that pizza boneless? I would hate that so much.
Oh shit, it's that boy.
Just sign the contract.
Just sign the contract.
All right.
Alright, well,
How enlightening.
it's been a great show. I want to thank all our listeners for joining us, and anybody that's been watching on the Facebook stream. We always enjoy that. We missed Zach this evening.
Shout out Zach.
Yeah,
Love you, man.
It's out Tuesday.
we miss you. But other than that, go check us out, man.
Yeah.
Beersoftheroundtable.com, Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Instagram, Overcast. I almost forget that one. Pocket Cast, I think is another one.
Pocket
Yeah.
Cast.
All the podcasts.
Yeah, but yeah,
I make sure. I check
if,
every now and then. I'm just like, is there another place we can post it?
if you can download a podcast from it, chances are that we're there.
Yeah.
So just go find us. Next week we will probably have another back bar episode. By
Well, we didn't have one last week.
Okay,
So,
well-
Bobby, we need to make a back bar episode.
Bobby, do back bar next week.
No,
Do it.
Bobby and I will do it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm down.
Week after that, we should be back with another full episode of Beers of the Round Table.
Yeah.
But,
This is kind of a square table, though.
well, yeah. Now it's a regular
Yeah.
table.
Yeah, we lost
I'd
around
like to put a special thanks to my parents for getting us a bigger table, even though it's not round. But life goes on.
The wheel is
Keeps on turning.
All right, everybody. Just
Be sure
Yeah.
to crack the code with your
a cold, dead one.
What?
that's
Happy Halloween.